Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Quant. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. Also in the description you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff now. So basically within Quant, what we were looking at was the potential of actually still looking for this potential to drop down one more time towards this low range of the $69 area. But we are maintaining this zone here. So for as long as we hold this zone and continue to move up higher here, we can potentially argue that we could start to look for a break to the upside here. However, we also need to bear in mind, we are forming this channel here, which these do tend to break to the downside when we have these higher lows, higher high patterns like this within a channel. They do tend to break to the downside. So we'll have to just monitor that, obviously, as we get this progression. So the way that I was looking at it within this is that we're looking for to potentially have a B wave completed. In which case, what we were talking about is we're talking about a possibility of actually looking to break to the downside. And if I just find it, where is it gone? We were talking about this previously when we were on our way down here, but we didn't actually manage to reach this $1.15 area. So it is still possible we could start to see a bigger move down here as a five-way structure, but the current structure is not really it's not really helping within that. The only way I can see it that could potentially still work, if we wanted to look for five-way structures, potentially looking for this as a 1 2 1 2 1 2 5 4. You see, we've got a bit of overlap within this as well, so it doesn't make it very neat, but we'd have to look at this then as a flat if we're going to do that. And what we'd actually be looking for is actually a deeper move. So I don't think it's very likely at this point, but if we do start to get a deeper move here, and we break this channel support and we look to push down towards that 106 zone, then potentially we could have an additional 1 and a 2 in here. For the most part, at the moment, it just looks like a corrective move. So I am looking for that potential that we could actually just look at this as a correction and actually look to move up one more time. So as long as we are within this channel, we can also argue, that we could still have another move to the upside where we form something like this. We come back down and we test this and then actually look to push up one more time. Or alternatively, we could look to push up and then get a rejection lower down here, and then this could be an A, B, and then we look to push to the downside. So this is still a possibility. Within that, within the within this as a C wave, we would ideally want five-way structure, but it can always be a Y wave, in which case we're just going to get corrective moves. But what I'd be looking at for here is effectively if we do actually move back up into this zone. I'm going to just measure this off quickly. If we do move back up into this 50% to the 786, so this 155 range to this 144.5, it is possible we could then look at the potential of having this as an additional ABC pattern to the upside here, in which case the 1-to-1 would actually look to target out this area here. Let's drop this on this low we currently have up into there. So that would actually look to push us up towards the zone of this 152.5, which actually has 702, which will also line up with these previous high points here. So this could be an interesting zone if we do look to push up here. However, we also need to bear in mind that we are looking for that potential of a bullish structure as well. So what my thinking is here is that potentially that this has become an A wave here. We're looking for that B wave to the upside and then actually looking for that continuation to the downside. So basically something like this, where we have this as an A, we come up for a B, and then we actually look to push down for that C wave. So, like I said, this center line here could be an interesting zone for a rejection if we do move back up. This little area of consolidation here could be quite interesting as well. Yeah, so basically, this is where I do think we're going to potentially get a bounce up into the zone and then look for that downside to come in. If we want to look at the bullish side of the coin, what we'd have to do is then look at it in this sense, because we were looking at this as an A, a B, and a C as a flat. So we do have potential for a five-wave structure within this, and what we'd then be looking for is whether we could look at an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside from this. So for as long as we hold this low, which is currently sitting at 101.3, we can argue that we could see the potential for some bullish setups here. And what we'd be looking for is, like I said, we could see this potentially as an ABC pattern, which could mean that we've actually completed. Alternatively, we could see this move progress down some more. It is possible, like I said, to move back up first, but what I'd be looking out for would actually be a move further down here. So we've come down to that 50%, but off of the current area, 1 to 1 of that first move would actually bring us down towards this 113.5 range. So if we do move up slightly here, this would change that target, and then that could look to put us closer towards the 702 or the 618, depending on how high we come here. It is possible that we could actually move back up into this zone and see this rejection to the upside here. So that golden pocket's actually quite an interesting zone as well, which is sitting here at this 153.4 to this 152.5. So if we do move back up into that zone, that could actually offer us resistance and we could look to break down further. However, within this structure, what we'd be looking for would be that possibility to break out. So for as long as we have a move here, which we can potentially count as a five-wave structure, which we'd have to count at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there, and then potentially fourth and fifth into here. So that is fine at the moment. We do also have the potential to count five-wave structure to the downside here, so we'd have to just be a little bit cautious within that as well, that we don't have further extension that is going to play out here. But basically, for as long as we hold this low here, what we can argue is that this 126.5, we can argue that we do have that potential to push up where this becomes a wave 1 and a 2. If we start to lose that 126.5, that would be sort of the lower end that would invalidate this potential. And we have really come quite deep here, though. That's the only thing I'm not too keen on. Yeah, we came down to that 786. So it'll be interesting to see whether this holds. If it does hold, what I would be looking out for, like I said, would be a potential move to the upside here. Obviously, we've got to overcome some areas here of resistance, which will be this area of this 142.6, and then potentially even testing the lower end of these could give us a rejection at this 50% mark. So yeah, I mean, we got to be a little bit cautious on this move back to the upside here. If we do continue to get rejected off these zones, then we could be looking for that deeper move, and looking for that bigger breakdown, potentially down into this zone. But also we need to bear in mind that we do have a count which takes us lower than this 103. So if we do start to get impulsive structure developing, it would have to be, like I said, a 1, 2, 1, 2. And what we'd then be looking for is actually looking to break much lower. So forget the number. The number we'd have to move past is this 106.2 as a wave 3 from this area. So that would be a 1, 2, 3. That would be a typical third wave location if we do start to break to the downside. So there is potential here. You can argue that you have some ones and twos, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then actually this is starting to break down deeper. But the first area, if you wanted to count it like that, we'd have to pass would be this 127.8. If we did pass that, then we could look for potentially another fourth wave within that, and then we'd have to watch that retracement for that rejection around the 50% to the 786. But yeah, for as long as we actually hold above this 786 here, we can actually look for that potential that we could start to see a move to the upside. If we look at this move down to here, I want to see if it's reached 1 to 1. So it hasn't quite reached 1 to 1. 1 to 1 would actually be coming down here to this 128.8. So if this move hasn't quite completed, it is possible we could actually see one more move to the downside here, looking towards that 128.8 zone. So that could be where we look to effectively form the C wave. So if we're looking for the bullish standpoint here, we'd want to see that 1, 2, and then we want to push up for that wave 3. We'd want to see something that moves up past this 168, and we'd want to see move basically like this develop, where we get this as a bigger third wave come back for a fourth wave, and get a fifth wave to the upside. So if we do break to the upside here, we could potentially look to break this channel line, look to retest the top channel line, find support on this center channel line of this upward sloping channel here, and then look for that fifth wave to the upside. So these are possibilities that are on the table at the moment. Yeah, it kind of needs to prove itself though at the moment, because really until it breaks through this 157.8 to this 144.8, we just need to be careful of continuous rejection here, and we still need to actually get even up to those points. So this will be an area to watch if we do start to move to the upside, though we also need to just be mindful if we do start to break down this 126.5, then I'd be looking somewhere within this zone of this 129.2 to this 112.4. Potentially a retest of this channel might be in order here before looking to move up. But really, if we start to lose this zone, I think we would probably come a little bit deeper and look for potentially that 1-to-1, like I said, of this move to the downside at 113.5. So 0.618 would be sort of the minimum we look for a C wave. So that would be this 125.6. So that lines up quite nicely with this channel. So if we do actually move down deeper here, that could be a zone that might be of interest as well. So within this, basically, we're looking for that potential to actually start a bigger five-wave structure. Whether we get this as a 1-2, then we get this as a 1 and a 2, and then we look for a bigger impulsive move to the upside like this. We don't have that confirmation yet, but if we do start to move up impulsively here and we do manage to break through this channel, what we could then be looking for is this bigger move to the upside here, where we're actually looking to trend up a bit higher here. And we'd have to then argue that potentially we could actually have this as another 1-2 here, maybe as a diagonal. Um, yeah, it's possible as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 into there. This is a B wave or a 1 and a 2 as a flat. So yeah, I mean, if we do start to break up into these zones, we'll start worrying about that. At the moment, the most the area of most importance is this 1-2 here. We'd want to see this start to break to the upside here and sort of get impulsive in its moves if we are looking at this as a third wave. So if we do start to break these highs, then we could start to look out for this target, but we'd still have to just be cautious, because really until we actually take this high of this 228, we can still look at this just as an A, all of this is a B wave, and then look to actually break down. So yeah, we'll just have to be a bit patient with it. Okay, I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description, you will find a link to Discord. Check it out, it is free to join. Also in there, you will find affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out for yourselves. If you use the affiliate link, it does help support the channel. There are deposit bonuses. More information can be found in the links below, so check them out. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next